healthy menus. In an African setup, you mostly have the woman doing the menus, the cooking. Now, if the wife was not taught healthy menus, she will be cooking what I call killing me softly menus. Lots of fats, lots of sugar, nice food, but over a period of 15-20 years, it predisposes you to food-related diseases. And the wife would not even be understanding why the husband is not well. Husband is not well because of your cooking. So it's another risk. You need to ensure that your beautiful wife, who is cooking you beautiful food, is not killing you softly. Calorado. There could be other risks which are mentioned in the book. Those ones I would allow you to get the book and equip yourself and make sure you appreciate all these risks. Then we get to the second area, which is, why do we say it's a sweet risk? Of course it's a sweet risk because marriage is a good thing. It was created by God Almighty. It's not a human invention. It's the Almighty who came up with the formula of holy matrimony, of marriage. And therefore you are doing the right thing that the Almighty ordained, and you are doing that which society accepts, and it is blessed, and it gives you status, and it also empowers you, because two is better than one. And you are doing that which is blessed and it is holy. So it is a sweet risk. It's worth it. Somebody was laughing at me and saying, why do you write a book which is entitled Marriage is a Risk, when you've enjoyed this risk for 33 years and 9 months plus? I said, yes, I'm writing about something that I've enjoyed. But the fact that I've enjoyed it doesn't mean people should not be given which, if you are new, it equips you on some of the tips that you need. There is another short chapter, the 15 sweeteners of marriage. It deals with issues like attitude, appreciation, acceptance, answering questions in a smart way, asking. These are just tips. So it really helps you to be excited about marriage. Then there are the 5 love poems on marriage, starting with the award-winning You Baby, one of the most beautiful love poems that I've ever written. And then there's a chapter which excites you about healthy communication. We all know that healthy communication is one of the pillars of a healthy and sweet marriage. Communication gives your marriage the food that it needs. Without communication, you get disconnected and the marriage dries. But it starts during the time of your singleness, because the discipline that you learned during your sweet days of freedom and singleness, they'll help you to navigate the marriage space. I'll just give you 3 examples. If during your days of singleness you equipped yourself as late for everything, the day you get married to this Mogele, who is a CEO, whenever she's supposed to go for a big meeting or dinner, she will always be late. Or you are the wife to this big boss and you are always late. He is always going to matters. When you are single, you are free to do whatever you want. After all, it's your body, it's your life. But what you don't realize is that this lack of discipline is going to catch up with you. The day you get married and then your wife travels, maybe she goes on a trip, because you have not trained the discipline that you are learning during your single days. It's a lifetime investment. Then there's a chapter that I also like, chapter 16, which many people like, which deals with the nocturnal matrimonial dynamics. It's very diverse. You have to live with your non-biological relatives and live with them peacefully and sweetly. It is possible. In the same way that at school, you relate with people who are not your biological relatives. At church, you fall in love and you love people who are not your biological relatives. In the neighborhood, it is by choice and by love. The other question that I've been asked is, how does it feel like to be an author? Being an author is good. It's good because suddenly your thoughts have been put anyway. I still want to enjoy another many years. But even if you leave, your thoughts, your brain, your contribution is going to help many people and generations to come. Who knows? Best case scenario, some people can even use your book as a guide for counseling. It's very exciting. Of course, there are challenges. Writing a book, especially if it's self-sponsored, is quite a challenge. Somewhere on the way, you'll feel like giving up. And sometimes there are issues of self-doubt. You ask yourself, what is it that I'm going to? And I have them in my iPad, and there are others which are not on iPad. So what is it that I'm going to write that is new, that has not been covered? But when I sat down and went out to a friend's holiday resort area in our country, it's a topical issue. I forgot to mention it under the risks. When you are in a country or continent where there is a high rate of GBV, it's one of the risks that you should be aware of, that you can enter marriage looking all beautiful. So there's a chapter on GBV. There's even a chapter on avoiding pornography. And there's a chapter which makes you aware of the disadvantages of infidelity in marriage. There's a chapter that gives you some tips on having a gun. It's an entrance for distraction and disturbance, and it can be an entrance for temptation. So couples need to come up with a policy. Do I allow my husband unlimited access to my phone? Should he know the code? Do I allow my wife to know my PIN or code? To having people entering your bedroom, because this takes away your attention, and the intimacy requires quietness and secludedness. But the phone, it breaches intimacy protocols, because you are supposed to concentrate on your wife or your husband, but suddenly somebody sends not concentrating because you have allowed this distraction. So I'm not blowing my own horn, but I'm simply saying, before you judge the book by its title, catchy title, get a copy and read it, so that when you critique it, at least you are fair to the script, you have read it. Is there to ask my publisher, those who did reviews,